Divorce can be a challenging and emotional journey, especially when children are involved. But have you ever wondered how much it actually costs to get divorced with a child in the UK? Let's start by discussing the main costs you might face during a divorce in the UK. Firstly, there are solicitors' fees. The cost of hiring a solicitor can vary depending on the complexity of your case. For negotiating financial settlements, fees may range from £2,000 to £3,000. In complex court cases, solicitors' fees can go up to £30,000 or more. Collaborative family lawyers might charge between £8,000 and £15,000. If you opt for a solicitor-assisted online divorce, you can expect an additional cost of up to £400 on top of the court cost. The application fee for a divorce in the UK is £593. However, in Scotland, the fees vary based on the procedure. A minute for decree costs £53, while an ordinary divorce or dissolution costs £165 in a sheriff court or £184 in the Court of Session. A simplified divorce or dissolution, on the other hand, costs £134 in a sheriff court or £140 in a Court of Session. Mediation can be a cost-effective option compared to the court proceedings. Most mediation cases require 3 or 4 sessions, and mediators usually charge around £100 an hour. In addition to these primary costs, there are other expenses associated with document processing, financial settlements, asset division, child custody, and establishing new households. These costs can vary based on the complexity of your situation. Now, it's important to note that the figures mentioned here are general guidelines, and they are not applied to every case. It is always recommended to seek proper legal advice to understand the specific costs and consideration for your divorce. Do the fees differ when you have a child involved in the divorce? The answer is no. The actual divorce fees charged by the court do not change based on whether you have children or not. You still have to pay the court to process the divorce and handle the paperwork. However, the costs associated with negotiating child issues, such as child support, custody, and visitation rights, can vary wildly. These factors can significantly impact the divorce complexity and the overall expenses. To keep the cost of your divorce down, try to remove as much complexity as possible. Reach an overall agreement with your partner on how the divorce will proceed, including factors related to the children. Speaking of which, let's discuss the costs involved in child-related negotiations. To determine child custody, consider questions like who the children will live with and the visitation schedule for the partner that they don't live with. The standard of living for children, their education, and the financial responsibilities must also be discussed. Furthermore, it's important to ensure that the children are mentally prepared for the separation and to take their opinions into account. If the court is involved, it will prioritise the best interests and well-being of the children when making decisions regarding custody and support. Remember, involving a lawyer for child-related negotiations will add to the overall costs. So it's beneficial to reach agreements through open communication and cooperation. Divorce with a child in the UK can be financially burdensome, considering court fees, solicitors' fees, mediation fees, and various other costs. While the actual divorce fees remain the same, with or without a child, the costs related to child custody, support, and visitation negotiations can add up. It's important to strive for amicable agreements with your partner and explore options like mediation to reduce expenses. Always consult with a qualified family law professional to understand the specific costs involved in your divorce. Even with the most amicable of divorces, it can still be worthwhile to consult with a solicitor for expert advice on how to proceed. These days, there's many online solicitors that can work out cheaper and easier than meeting in person. JustAnswer, for example, only costs £5 for a trial, which could be far less than a traditional in-person appointment. One of my colleagues used their service and saved over £270 on an outstanding parking ticket. I've linked that offer in the description. If you use that, you'll also be supporting Money Nerd, so thank you.